So let's start on all fours and just be aware of how you're connecting to the ground with your hands. Have a look at your hands and just make sure there's no kind of gap underneath the hand and the floor. Spread the fingers wide and then sort of travel up along your own body. Make sure your arms are vertical. And then with the feet, you can have the toes tucked under on tippy toes if that's comfortable, or you can point the toes, whichever feels the best. And we'll just have the knees a little bit further back from the hips. So this is easy plank. This is the really pleasant version of plank. So just notice how you are in this all fours position. Let your head kind of move forward so that the neck is free. You're not squashing anything in the neck. And just breathe there. Now just notice how that feels. And we're going to add one element to it. Draw your shoulder blades down your back, so away from your ears. Now notice how that feels. So there's going to be a slight strengthening aspect happening in the back and in the backs of the arms. Now keep that in place, keep the scapular depression, the shoulder blades down, and then start to engage your belly. So draw your belly in. Now notice how that feels, and you will have figured it out. If the belly is super strong and really engaged, you cannot breathe into it. So you've got to breathe wide into the ribs now. Notice how that all feels as you find this new way of breathing. Now engage your pelvic floor, so the floor of your pelvis getting stronger. Keep all of the other stuff engaged, shoulders, belly, pelvic floor. Now engage your bum, squeeze the buttocks a little bit. Now notice how that all feels. Notice if you have let go of any of that work. Notice if your shoulders are hunching up, or if your belly has gone weak, or if your pelvic floor has switched off, or your bum. Now release all that work and feel the difference. Right, there's quite a lot of difference going on. So from there, we're going to come into plank. So stepping the feet back, and just come into plank in your own way without me guiding you, and hold there for 5 breaths. And notice how you feel in plank. Notice how you do plank. Notice what areas are taking most weight. Notice any areas that might feel a little weak. Notice bits of plank that you're not sure of. Now come down onto the knees, just take a little rest. We'll just briefly push back into a little child's pose. Just take a little rest there and play imaginary piano with your fingers, just to release out through the tendons and ligaments of the wrist, because it's quite hefty on the wrists sometimes. And then we come forwards and step the feet back into plank again. Now just doing plank the way you normally do plank, and we'll just add in a bit more alignment. Let the head be in line with the spine, so it's neither drooping nor looking up. And also draw the shoulder blades into the back like we did earlier in all fours, and hold there for 5 breaths. Feel the difference when you align the head and when you draw the shoulder blades down. Let your knees come down and push back into child's pose for a little rest. And then move the fingers and just release out through the wrists. Keep your breathing really good so that there's a smoothness, there's a rhythm. And then we shift forwards into plank again, adding all of those things. So head is in line with the spine. Shoulder blades are down the back. Engage the belly. And then come down onto the knees, shift back into child's pose, taking a few restful breaths there. Breathe into the back of the body. Let your bum push back to the heels so you can stretch your lower back. Good, coming forwards again into plank. Head in line with spine, shoulders in the back, belly engaged. Also engage your pelvic floor and your buttocks. Now start to bring some extra power into your legs by engaging your quads. Supercharge now in full plank. Come back to the basics though, make sure your hands are grounded, arms are vertical. 5 more breaths here, everything engaged. Make the whole body work in plank, not just your upper body. 3 more breaths. 2 more. Final breath. And rest in child's pose. Well done, guys. Very good. Good, and then coming back up. So perfect plank is your homework for the week. It's good to build it up every day. So you can start off maybe with 30 seconds, then build up to 30 minutes in one day. No, build it up slowly and just remembering, I know it was a little bit basic there, doing it first in all fours, but it was just to show us, we've got other muscles that are separate to these, right? And to really bring in lots of strength through the legs and the abdomen. Not only makes your body stronger, but makes the posture stronger. Yeah, so you're working into kind of taking the details of plank into your practice.